Hey, Matt Theriault here from Epic Real Estate. And if your direct mail marketing is failing to meet your expectations, it's because you are breaking one of direct mail marketing's 5 commandments. And chances are you don't even know it. Most people don't. It's okay though. I mean, it's really easy to do if you're not paying attention. So let's go over all 5 of these commandments together. We'll do that right now. We'll get you all fixed up so we can get your direct mail marketing working just like you want it to. Alrighty, so just because your direct mail isn't working or not working as well as you'd like it to, doesn't mean it doesn't work. So don't believe the crybaby hype out there. If you're using the same list, you're sending to the same mailing piece, you're sending the same look and you're with the same message, if you're doing the same things as everybody else, of course it's not working. Here's the deal. There are 5 commandments to direct mail marketing that, if followed, direct mail will work for you and will continue to work for you. If you get it wrong, you might as well just throw your money in the trash. That might be what it's feeling like right now. If you get it right though, it's like having your very own money tree growing right in your own backyard. Before we cover those 5 commandments, you must understand this. Before you are a real estate investor, you are a marketer. If you want to make a lot of money in real estate, if you want to be really great at real estate investing, you have to be a great marketer. And to be a great marketer, you need to be always testing your marketing. You know, what worked yesterday, it ain't gonna work today. Especially in this world that we live in right now, this fast-paced world, everything's changing so quickly. I mean, for example, the commercial for the first iPhone, it was all about celebrity endorsements and the single feature of the phone. Jump to iPhone 3, and you'll find no celebrities at all in the commercial, and it's all about the single video feature of the phone. Go to iPhone 4, not only will you not find any celebrities, you won't even find people's faces in it. And it's all about the multiple functions now of the apps. Go to iPhone 5C, no faces, no voices, no functions, no features, just colors. No functions or features, just colors. Go to iPhone 7, back to using a person's voice, back to people's faces, and now we're focused on multiple features again, multiple features and functions. We got a new camera, we got new processor, we got stereo speakers, we got water resistance, we got the longest battery life ever. Then iPhone 8, here we go again. No faces, no voices, no functions, no features, just the size of the phone. The point being, of these ads, that they all appeared on TV. But they kept changing their focus to capture the audience's attention. And as a real estate marketer, you have to do the same with your direct mail to get your audience's attention. So let's do that. And one thing you're going to want to know is that I've got no income claims or anything like that going on here. What I'm going to share with you, I first tested it in my own business with great results. And then to confirm, I tested it with a couple of other private REI ACE clients who volunteered to be guinea pigs. They got the same great results. And I'm just now rolling this stuff out to all of my private clients. And soon, we'll be sharing them with our agency clients as well. The 5 commandments of direct mail marketing for real estate investors. Commandment number 1, you gotta get delivered. Yeah, you gotta put the right amount of postage on your pieces, but this more has to do with the right mailing list. Making sure you're getting delivered to the right people. So what is the best list to send to? Well, I'm gonna tell you, hands down, the best list is, and it's not what you think. No, I'm gonna swing back around here real quickly and I'll address this at the end, because if you violate the next 4 commandments, the list doesn't matter. The best list doesn't matter. Everyone's so focused on the list, it doesn't matter if you get these others wrong. So commandment number 2, gotta get noticed. If sellers don't see your mail, you're not doing any deals. If you're sending the same size, same colored, same message postcard from the same mailing house as everyone else, you're invisible. So stop doing that. The only way to make that work is through massive volume and a lot of hope, which means a massive marketing budget and a massive amount of patience as well. This postcard right here, this 3rd and final notice postcard, this got noticed when we started sending it out. And it generated response rates from 15 to 20% at first, until response rates, they plunged below 1%. Then Google Street View postcards like this. Response rates were right back up to 10% again, until they weren't. You see, what gets noticed today is not promised for tomorrow. Sellers quickly, they turn a blind eye to your mailers just like teenagers do to check engine lights. Here, do this. The next time you go to your mailbox, hold your mail in your hands and notice. Notice what you notice. There are clues right there as to what you might consider in your next direct mail marketing campaign. Consider different colors, different sizes, different shapes, different weights for your next direct mail piece. Because if you're sending the same generic direct mail pieces as everybody else, you're in serious danger of not getting noticed. So commandment number 3, you gotta get opened, right? Obviously, if you're sending postcards, there's nothing there to open. But if you're sending letters, you've gotta get your envelope opened. And one thing that we used to do here is we didn't seal the envelope. We just tucked that flap in like this until it stopped working. Then we'd send window envelopes with what looked like there was a check inside until it stopped working. Now we're sending stuff like this, but with a twist. And this twist, it's magic. And you're gonna wonder why you didn't think of it. And I'll tell you what it is in just a second, because it takes care of commandment number 4 as well. So commandment number 4, you gotta get read. What's your message? What's the message in your direct mail? Are you sending the same old we buy houses with you got a bunch of little bullet points of your features below it? Is your message easy to read, or is it too busy? Or is it confusing? Is it compelling enough to keep the seller reading? Or are you losing the seller's attention halfway through? You know, one thing that we're doing right now is, because we know the seller is most likely to do business with the person that they think most likely will be able to help them, we've deployed the old show them that you can help them by actually helping them trick. You know, for example, our message, rather than, screaming from the rooftops, hey, call us, like everybody else does, the tone of our message right now, it's much more subdued, as if we were sitting across the table with a cup of coffee talking to a friend. And we tell them, here's what you can expect. Here's who and what you need to watch out for. And, if we can't buy your house, don't worry, we'll gladly guide you through the process anyway. That message gets read. Also, sending 3-option letters of intent, those get read. And sending fully executed purchase agreements, those get read too. Here's the magic twist that I mentioned that will make sure that your direct mail, it gets noticed, it gets opened, and it gets read. And it works like this. You know how when you send a batch of direct mail out, and you know how when it lands in the prospect's mailbox? Because your phone, it starts to ring a little bit more than normal. It's like, oh, hey, the direct mail must have landed. Once we get those first few calls, once we know that the mail has arrived, what we do is we send a stealth voicemail. That's what we call it here. You may know it as ringless voicemail, but we send a stealth voicemail message that sounds something like this. Hey, this is Matt. We haven't met, but I sent a blue envelope to you and it arrived in your mailbox today. My phone number, it's on the inside. That's it. That's one twist that we've added to our process that's tripled our response rate. I mean, just imagine, you receive a voicemail with that message. You best believe you'd be looking for a blue envelope in your mailbox. You might drop everything you're doing and run out and go take a look. And because the message didn't mention what was actually inside the envelope, you'd have to open it to see. And then, when you saw an actual signed purchase agreement on the inside of that envelope, it's no wonder it's tripled our response rate. Alrighty, so I'm about to get to commandment number 5, and then I'm going to swing right back up here to number 1 and go over the best list to send your mail to. If what I'm saying, if it's making sense to you, do me a favor, just go ahead and smash that like button for me. So commandment number 5. You got to get action. None of this matters unless the recipient of your direct mail takes the action that you want them to take. Traditionally, the golden rule has always been to use only one call to action in your marketing. We've turned all of that upside down. We're doing the exact opposite. We're now providing 3 separate calls to action. We're giving the seller 3 ways that they can start the process of selling their property to us. 1, via phone. Right? That's obvious. We can answer the live call, we'll have that conversation, and if they don't leave a message, then we can just capture their phone number through our call capture system, and then we can follow up with them later. So we're still using the phone number. 2, we're using text messaging. The call to action is, hey, text this word cash to 5678 as an example, and when the seller fires off that text, boom, we capture their information to follow up with them later, and then an automated text goes out to them with a link. And when they click the link, on their phone pops up a video of us explaining what we can do for them. And then the 3rd way, via website. Traditionally, a huge no-no for direct mail. But now, not so much. Here's how this works. When the seller visits the website, what we do is we tag them with a retargeting pixel. And then we follow them all around the internet with our message. Just like Amazon is following you around right now. That's just the tip of the iceberg of what's working for us right now. Might not work tomorrow. But I'm not worried, I really don't care, because we've got the 5 commandments of direct mail marketing to follow for when those next marketing shifts should happen, when we got to make some modifications. And now you have them too, alrighty? So you're good. Now let's go back up here to commandment number 1, get delivered. Specifically, we're gonna talk about the list. What's the best list to send to? Well, the best list to send to is the one with the sellers that have the most motivation, right? Well, which one is that then? I mean, is it the absentee owner list? Is it the high equity list? Is it the probate list, bankruptcy, pre-foreclosure, I don't know, eviction, tax lien, code violation, divorce, vacants, out-of-state owners, weed abatement, fire damage, notice of default? I mean, the list goes on. There's countless lists that you can pull, right? So which one is the best one to send to? Well, the answer is yes. Here's what I mean. Each one of those lists represents a factor of motivation, a motivation factor. And a motivated seller could come from any one of those lists. But if a single seller's name appears on 2 of those lists, that's 2 factors of motivation. More likely to be motivated enough to sell their property to you at a discount, right? So if a single seller's name appears on 3 of those lists, that's a 3rd factor of motivation. Getting better, right? So the best list to send to is the list of names that appears on the most number of those lists. I mean, what if you had a list that were out of state, absentee owners, of vacant houses, behind on their property taxes, and going through a divorce? That would be a serious motivated seller list, wouldn't it? You're damn right it would. That's the list I'm mailing to. And I'm not sending them a chintzy little postcard either. No, for a while now, we've been stacking these factors and sending up to $20 mailing pieces. And get this, we're saving money by doing it this way too. And here's how. Let's say we go ahead and we pulled all of those lists. I mean, pull as many lists as you can think of. We pulled all of those lists that I mentioned earlier. We pull them all for our market. And say the biggest list consisted of 10,000 absentee owners. And that's who we would normally send our postcard to. So you got 10,000 names times 40 cents a postcard. So you got a $4,000 ad spend. That's typical. But if we reduce the size of that list to all of the absentee owners that existed on at least one of those other lists, if we did that and say it brought the list down to say 700, we'd have 2 factors of motivation on that list. And it might be a good investment to spend a little bit more money on a higher quality mailing piece, right? One that might cost, I don't know, $2. So you got 700 names times $2 per letter. That's going to give you a $1,400 ad spend. And then we go ahead and we pull a second list with at least 3 of those factors in common. And the list comes all the way down to say 75 names. And we send an even more elaborate mailing piece that might cost like $5. So we got 75 names times $5 per letter. Now it's $375 ad spend. And then another list of at least 4 of those factors in common down to 10. Say we've got 10 names. And we send something very elaborate, like a signed purchase agreement in a FedEx night envelope for 20 bucks. That's 10 names times $20 per letter, and that gives us a $200 ad spend. So the complete cost of your mailing in this scenario would be $1,975. That's half of what it was previously. And to likely much more motivated sellers with elite mailing pieces that get noticed, they get opened, they get read, and they get action. If you want more lead generation strategies, I've got 3 brand new lead generation strategies that members of the Epic Pro Academy are using to break through all of that noise and separate themselves from their competition. So click right here, click this video here, and I will see you over there. All right, take care.